It's my new intro song now. My name is Koy Sun. I'm a lettering artist and illustrator, but more recently, people know me more as a sign painter and content creator. To those who haven't seen my videos before, I focus on writing internet narratives and focusing on combining art and interacting with my community. Oh yeah, I forgot it's this way. So about 3 months ago, I went from 15,000 followers on Instagram to over 200K. And on TikTok, I went from 200 followers to now almost reaching 90K. And from the outside, it may seem like this was some sort of crazy miracle, but in reality, I've been preparing for this for over 13 years. So, oh wait. Okay, so in 2010, I posted my first video onto the internet. It was my first time doing frame-by-frame animation, and I thought the world needed to see it. Fast forward to 2014, I set a challenge for myself where I wanted to make one video every single day, and it lasted a little less than 2 years, and I gained an impressive 112 subscribers. Obviously, I got discouraged and didn't make videos again similar to this vibe for a very long time. In 2022, I decided to transition to TikTok with a friend, and we started an account called Social Dropouts. On our personal accounts, we weren't really doing that well. And so entering a new platform, we wanted to see what we can do with an open mind. We were open to anything. And for 1.5 years, we fought our way to 100K. Unfortunately, due to some disagreements, we had to split up, and it seemed like everything we worked towards essentially burst into flames as if it was all for nothing. But it wasn't all for nothing, at least for me. The reason that I'm able to stand here today and talk to all of y'all is because 3 months ago, I had every valid excuse to give up. No one can argue against me in saying that I didn't give my best try. What you see here are just some of the videos that I've posted since 2010. In fact, I couldn't fit all of them onto the screen. And this doesn't even include all the scrapped concepts and ideas that have never seen the light of day. But regardless, I decided to pick up the passion that I had when I was 13 years old and combine it with the knowledge that I have now as a young adult to be able to get closer to my dreams than I ever had before. And so I stand before you today to tell you some of the lessons that I've learned throughout the years and how it all relates to rhythm. So rhythm is defined as the constant groove that is consistent throughout the entirety of a song. And how that relates to me as a videographer is that early on, I had this rule where I wanted to post one TikTok once a week. And when you combine that with a day job, hobbies, friends, and just life in general, I was on a train straight for burnout. And I have multiple times. And I didn't really learn my lesson until more recently, where I simplified my goal to only recording footage for a video once a week. That way, as I continually batch all different types of concepts, when I am ready to finally run towards the finish line, I'd actually make it to the finish line. And so the first lesson that I wanted to say is find your bare minimum. So in this case, if you're a writer, or actually whatever discipline you're in, just think about a task that you can check off easily once a week. For writers, you can write one paragraph a week, and for runners, you can do something like running for 15 minutes twice a week. And the secret is that most of the time, you'll end up doing more that you plan than you plan. Or if you end up just doing the bare minimum, progress is still progress. And this is especially important because for lesson 2, it's rely on your own statistics. So what this means is that when I first started working on social dropouts and just making videos on TikTok for the first time, I wasn't really genuine with what I was doing. I was essentially riding the coattails of whatever was trending at the time and wasn't really catching anybody's interest. And after about 6 months or so, I got tired of doing the same thing and making videos that I wasn't proud of. And threw all the roles and perceptions out the window and made a video where the story of this video is that there's this song that has a studio recording that doesn't exist on the internet anymore, but I have memory of it when I was in middle school. And that absolutely freaked me out. The idea that there are songs that I remember that I might not be able to physically listen to ever again. There is a live version of it, but I want the studio. So I scoured through the internet and found the only 2 physical copies left for sale. And I put it up on the internet and somehow got over 400,000 views. And I was able to actually meet the artist. And the artist then posted it back up on the internet, so now people can actually listen to it. The song is called Where Would You Go? And the band is called The Sweet Hurt. And so by that moment, people don't realize how confused I was because there were no fast cuts. And in fact, 3/4 of the video is just a song because I didn't really know if I should talk about a song that doesn't exist anymore and not post it. And so the whole entire TikTok was just 3 minutes of the actual song. So I thought, okay, let me try again. And so on my birthday, I made a video about my birthday. And how it went was that I talked about being a child prodigy and how all the dreams that I had when I was a child, when I became an adult, never came to fruition, and how that haunted me for the rest of my life. And how that all relates to the actors and actresses in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Because fun fact, Michelle Yeoh never really got recognition for over 30 years. And when I posted this video, I unintentionally made over 2 million people cry over a TikTok video. And so I was essentially thrown into no man's land where all of a sudden I was making videos in a way that I couldn't find inspiration from others. In the beginning, I was doing casual run-of-the-mill TikTok videos like pack an order with me, and then all of a sudden now I'm doing more cinematic, narrative-specific, serious, sometimes 5-minute long TikTok videos, and somehow this platform for people that have a low attention span were receptive to what I was making. And so with no one else to look for inspiration, I had to start looking inwards. And that's why the first lesson of consistency is so important, because throughout this time, the only way for me to really know what I was doing right or wrong is to do it. So I kept posting videos, and regardless of whether or not it was a success or a failure, the ones that failed just reaffirmed all the things that I was doing right. And so I was essentially nurturing and growing every single view, like, and share that I could find. And rather than chasing everybody else's shadow, I was just looking straight ahead at what I was doing. I was seeing videos and comparing, okay, what makes the difference between 100 views versus 500, and then 10,000 to 500,000. And at this current moment, I'm trying to figure out how to normalize the difference between 1 million views and 7 million. And I've essentially built my own form of niche and expanded the boundaries of what it means to make short form content, because I recently got reached out actually this week to do a collaboration with Instagram, like the social media itself. So that's pretty exciting. And so the last lesson is the easiest to understand but hard to maintain, which is love what you do. And oddly enough, I don't always love what I do. And it's because the way that I make videos is not very efficient and it's really difficult. I'm essentially putting in YouTube levels of effort for just to take up a minute of someone's day. But the reason that I haven't transitioned to YouTube or any other platforms is because posting on TikTok and posting on Instagram is fun for me. And I, but regardless, throughout the years that I've been working towards goals and trying new concepts and trying to reach my dream, the hardest part of chasing your dreams isn't actually starting, at least for me, but it's actually what I call the plateau. Essentially, what the plateau is like this barren desert that lacks any form of dopamine, and the only thing that it will be carrying you is your own resolve that is continually being shaken, just being like, give up, stop. and and I've experienced that many times, and for others, it's similar to a runner who just reached their PR on a 5K and then not being able to run faster than that for over months or even years, or an actor who just starred in a movie and then went back to working as a bartender. It's just these small little in between moments where it's just so painful because every minute you know you're destined for a lot more, but you have to do life things and the things and the not and the ugly things that no one really gets to see. And I can't lie and say that I haven't walked towards this section at all, actually. So, I just realized I've been talking to you. I'll give you all attention. Right. I can't lie and say that I haven't questioned and thought, is everything that I'm doing even worth it? And oddly enough, despite having the affirmation of more than 300 wonderful people this week, I've been questioning and feeling imposter syndrome and being uncertain about my career. But then I just have to remember that regardless, I'm going to come home and I'm going to pick up my camera and I'm going to be reminded why I love what I do. And it's that I love painting and I love telling stories and I love being able to just meet so many different types of wonderful people. And so, regardless of the difficulties and hardships, every time I've overcome a plateau, I've never had any regrets. It was always 100% worth it. And so, to those out there who feel like they don't have a place in the world, take it from someone like me who struggles with social cues and has a boatload of anxiety. I managed to find my place in this planet somehow. And I believe the world is big enough to make space for everyone. And so all you have to do is trust the process, follow your rhythm, and enjoy every single moment of it. And just know that I'm out here cheering you on no matter what you're trying to do. And I'm so, so, so excited to see you shine. Thank you.